think the Search Console gave you a lot because it's a free tool, right? So Google doesn't have to give it to you. The reason why Google keeps making it better is they're getting a lot of heat with a lot of these companies, especially, I'm sure, the big Fortune 500 companies, right?
Welcome to the Lion's Den, hosted by Lance Bachman.
You know, Lance, we're in a lot of meetings all the time with a lot of business owners, and it's amazing how many people don't even know what Google Search Console is.
Yeah, I'd agree, Bernie. It's pretty crazy. What's more than that, not the business owners, because it's really not their job. Yeah. It's how many of these nitwit digital marketing agencies have no clue what the Search Console. No, it's not shots fired. It's just, bro, it's common. How do you come and you're not in the Search Console?
I mean, you can't call yourself a digital marketer. You don't know what Google Search Console is.
You can't call yourself Toucan Sam.
No Toucan Sam.
I mean... what's that cereal with the rabbit? Tricks?
Tricks. Yeah, right? Tricks, baby.
I mean, that's what I feel like these digital marketing companies are. When somebody comes here and the person goes, I have no clue what the Search Console is.
Or they say, like, it's not important, or we only use analytics, or whatever it is. But Search Console is so important when you're trying to do SEO. It's probably the most important. If you're doing SEO, you need to have it. Shout out to Anthony Kane, yeah. He's always saying that.
Kane, let's go, baby. Yeah, it's a no-brainer, but I do feel like these guys that hire some of these companies, they feel like they're eating Lucky Charms, just hoping the leprechaun gets them to where they got to go.
Is that pot of gold?
So why don't you talk about let's talk about the update.
So Lance, of course, if you went in there before, you would hover over like a broken link or any other kind of data in there, and it would be a little like opaque as to what was actually happening.
Yeah, I mean, the Search Console, I actually think the Search Console gave you a lot because it's a free tool, right? So Google doesn't have to give it to you. The reason why Google keeps making it better is they're getting a lot of heat with a lot of these companies, especially, I'm sure, the big Fortune 500 companies, right? So they're hiring digital marketing companies, and you get a false positive 404 soft error page, right? And all these pages on mobile are actually up, but they're showing in the Search Console or not. So that's one of the features that they just fixed. I like the fact that Google keeps upgrading their Search Console, and they're leaving a place for the organic people out there, because they know organic is a big piece of their use. And for the end user, if they didn't have organic, it's a problem. And a lot of people, as you know, dump a ton of money into organic. Actually, more money gets put into organic every year than paid right now.
Yeah, I mean, and we all know Google's trying to get as much as they can on the paid side, but it's good to see them kind of coming back and doing more for the SEO side of things in the organic front. And
the issue is, too, is a lot of these people that go out and build websites, they don't do the right things to get the pages indexed on it. And Google, on the website itself, and Google understands it's not the business owner's fault. It's actually the person. I mean, it's a business owner's fault ultimately because they own it, but it's not them intentionally doing it. It's the person that built their site and doing SEO doesn't understand the indexing system. So this is going to help break that indexing system even down further for you and really help you out. So I can appreciate that tremendously.
Yeah, and look at here when they're talking about removing like generic terms like crawl, anomaly. Like, what do you do with information like that? And now they're kind of getting rid of that, making things a little bit more clear as to what's going on in the Search Console.
They have to make it more clear because so much money is going into Google and big tech, and they remember this when people feel like they're defeated, and Google can't support this tool. So Google doesn't give you help with Google Analytics, with a full funnel approach, with organic. So these aren't even departments for them. So they know they got to make a resource where people can educate themselves, use it, or people are just going to get pissed and give up on digital marketing.
They are going to get pissed and give up on digital marketing. It's a great way to put it.
This is giving you more granular information, how Google's reading, interpreting your site when they're crawling it. So make sure you pay attention to it. It's a no-brainer. If you have an agency, make sure they're using it. You should ask for your Search Console report every single month or at least every quarter so you can update yourself. Also, if you're doing it yourself, live in the Search Console and catch things before they go wrong.
And Lance, I think we have a little bit of help today in terms of Google Search Console. Someone's going to show us how to use it and what it looks like.
Natasha, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Small Business Saturdays and a Google Search Console, also called GSC, overview. We're going to start with a e-com client and then head over to a client that has a little more of a niche business industry. So this one is a clothing wholesale provider, and we're looking first at the overview. This is what you will see when you sign into Search Console. You will see the performance, you will see the coverage, and you will see the enhancements. Now, what info is available in each of these? Let's do a quick walkthrough. The performance. You open the report. It's going to give you how many clicks came to your website, the total impressions. That's how many times people saw you, not necessarily clicked on you, but if you are on page 3 of the search results and a user gets through to page 3, that counts in your impressions. You'll have your average click-through rate. That's simply a math equation here. How many times were you seen? How many times did people click? Gives you your click-through rate. You also have your average position. Of course, this does not mean that all of your keywords or all of your links are showing up at the 28th position. You may have some at 1, you may have some at 50. It's going to be a mixed bag, but this will give you your average of all the keywords that you come back for. We're going to go in and we're going to do a comparison. You can change these dates. They have some presets as far as 7 days, 28 days. You can also go custom and do a completely different time set. You don't have to compare. You can just do the filter and see what you did in the last custom dates or the 3, 6, 12, 16 months. So whichever you decide, that's what you can go with. For this training, we're just going to look, for this explanation, we're just going to look at the last 3 months and we're going to compare it to the previous 3 months. It takes a second, then everything will repopulate and you'll get nifty bar graphs and everything else. So what does this mean for you? Why should you even care what's going on in here? These are your organic results. This is outside of your pay-per-click, outside of your Facebook ads, outside of your Instagram ads. This is what your organic search results are doing. So we look here, 3 months over 3 months. The previous 3 months, they had 12.1 thousand clicks. How's that changed? Well, the last 3 months, they have 10,000 more clicks. We look at the impressions and they have about 46 or 0.46 million more impressions. That's a lot, obviously. But if did their clicks go up as much as their impressions went up? This is something that you want to know, because if you're being shown more, your idea is to either hold fast or ideally, you're going to want to get better at who you're targeting and how many clicks you can get. So we look at their click-through rate. They went from 1.1% to 1.4%. And that's with increased traffic and increased impressions. That's super important. Also, they've moved approximately 3 spots for their average position. The lower your average position, the closer you're getting to that first page. Just as a quick overview, 1 through 10 is on the first page, 11 through 20 is on the second page, and so on. So the graph down here is just showing you those exact things. In the purple, we have the impressions, and in the blue, we then have the clicks, and the dots will give you those comparisons. Another thing to look at in this performance overview, the queries. What are you coming back for? This is super important, because if you are looking to go big for bulk clothing, okay, cool, we want to do really well with bulk clothing. Are you advertising using that word? How are you using those words? These are the ways that people find you. The queries. These are what people searched to get to your site. So a good way to look at this and say, well, are they really doing well? Well, let's see. We know from impressions and from clicks up here at the top, obviously they're doing well, but what are their big gains? What are the queries that they really need to hone in on? Let's see. The previous 3 months impressions, they had 0 for these terms. They're now ranking for these terms. These are a result of the great work that One SEO has done as far as their SEO strategy. They added these keywords in, they put together a strategy to help push these keywords in relation to this site. And now, whereas the previous 3 months they had 0 impressions, they now have an additional 1,324 eyes on their site. Out of those 1,324 eyes, they got 79 clicks out of that. That's a really good rate. That's how many additional eyes they're having on their site to get to their products. That's a big deal. Then going back to the overview, that next section is coverage. We're going to leave that for last because, as Lance and Bernie mentioned, that's where a bunch of the updates that Google has recently done are occurring. The third section here is enhancements. You're looking at how well the website is doing. You're looking at mobile usability and all of those ways to help Google crawl your website. Additionally, here on the side, you have security and manual actions, your legacy tools and reports, which are the old school webmaster tools, and then you have your backlinks and settings. So going back to the overview, which is where we're at, performance, coverage, enhancement. Your enhancement has to do with the site speed and things as well. But let's get into coverage. We're going to go ahead and open that report. As you'll notice with this, you do not have the dates. You don't necessarily need a comparison here. You need to know if your site is running and how well it's doing right now. With this updated report, as Bernie and Lance mentioned, soft 404s, you get more in-depth explanations, fine-tuned index coverage status. They removed the generic crawl anomaly issue type. And you really can use this to see how Google is reading and interpreting your site. Overall, the better coverage error explanations you have, the easier it is to fix with a more exact cause identified. So we look here. We have no errors, we have no issues. Great, that's an awesome place to be. And so there are no details on that. However, it says that there's one with a valid warning. It says it's indexed, but it's blocked by robots text. Robots text basically tells Google to pay attention to this page. Let's get it indexed, or you know what? We don't need to index this page. If you're wondering what index versus no index means you want it to show up in those Google search results. Overall, you don't necessarily want your thank you page ending up in a Google search result. That's not getting anyone any information. Clients are going to bounce off of it. It's going to mess up your bounce rate. It can affect a whole lot of other things. So blocked by robots text means that we didn't want it indexed. We can click into this to get further explanation. It says it's indexed, but it's blocked by robots text. You can scroll down. There's one page that's affected. What's an example of this page? Well, the wish list. Okay, that's fine. Our developers can easily go in, let Google know on the coding of the site as well. Hey, don't pay attention to this site. Leave it out of the sitemap. Okay, no problem. Then it's fixed. That's a great thing to know, and it's also an easy fix. That's why this update to the coverage report is so important. We can get in there, we can fix exactly what's wrong, and then your website can be running at optimal level. Well, what do these other boxes mean? Let's go ahead and click on them and give you the nifty little visual. We already went through the valid with warning and what that one issue was. Additionally, you have your valid pages. These are the pages that you want Google crawling. In this case, their e-com, all of their product pages, you want Google to recognize those because people are searching for those products. So of course you want to come up for it. Excluded pages, again, are the thank you pages, the random about page that no one's going to buy something on. Can people still see it once they go to the site? Absolutely. It's not necessarily something people are going to convert on, and the about page isn't going to get you more clients necessarily. So it's not one that you want showing up into the Google search results. And so you can do this as the graph. You can hover over a specific day, and it will tell you what's going on that specific day. And then you see a whole bunch of details. Since I have highlighted each of these 4 blocks, you then see all the details with that, why things are excluded. Page with a redirect, alternate page with a proper canonical tag. All of these issues, all of these are not issues. They are just, this is what it's excluded, and this is why it falls into that category. And that's for e-com clients. But maybe you're saying, this is a small business Saturday. Where's my small business fit into this? Obviously, this is a larger site. Sure, not a problem. So the setup is exactly the same, whether it's e-com or not. You're looking, you still have the performance, you have the coverage, you have the enhancements, you still have the same availability over here on the side of anything that you want to dive into more thoroughly. The difference is you're opening the report and there's not millions of impressions here. In the last 3 months, 2.3K clicks, 160K impressions. You have your average click-through rate and your average position. So you still have those same categories. And again, just like on that other graph, you can click on these to add them into this bar graph down here, or this line graph rather. That's fine. You can still adjust your dates. You can do the filter, and this is how it is now. If it's just the filtered view, you're just going to get what's going on within the last 3 months because that's what we have it set to. If you want to compare, how much did I grow? Am I going down? What's going on here? You click the correct bubble, make sure you hit apply. It takes a few seconds here to repopulate, but it's going to show you your growth or decrease. So what happened? The previous 3 months for this client, this looks a little messy now that we've activated everything, but you're looking at the clicks again, the impressions again. Your impressions went up by 20,000. Your clicks went up by about 600. Okay, what does this mean for the click-through rate? Is it getting better or is it getting worse? Well, it's getting better. You have more people clicking through with your more clicks and more impressions. That's not always the case. Sometimes you'll see your impressions go down, but maybe your clicks go up. When you look at that and you see that trend, I have less impressions, but more people are clicking through. That means you've hit that target audience. You're finding more people to convert. And you're reaching those people the way you need to. It's not a whole bunch of fluff audience. You're reaching people who really want to convert and use your services. This average position went from 27.5 to 26.1. So they're moving up that third page. And you know what? We won't even say that. They're not necessarily moving up the third page, but everything is getting better. So all of their average positions, all of those keywords are getting better. Because it's an average position, that's why I don't want to say that it's on the third page and it's moving up. Because this could mean that there are now more keywords in that top 10 position. And that's what's moving the average position to that lower point. Scrolling down, we're looking at the queries again. These queries are how people are finding you. So maybe you're a used car lot. And of course, you're going to go after those keywords that are used, one previous owner, perhaps buy here, pay here, things like that. But then you look in your queries and you notice, oh my gosh, people are actually reaching my site. I'm coming back for the newest model. And just that, the newest model, that can be, or the newest model car, the newest model truck. And so you're saying, well, how does that fit in? Because I'm a used car salesman, or a used car sales lot rather. That's perfect. Now you know that keyword is something you're already organically coming back for. You want to capitalize on that. How do you work that into your actual customer base? So now you're going to say in your blogs, perhaps, hey, you're looking for the newest model truck. This offers the same, these products that I have, they offer the same exact, they're equipped with the same exact thing. They offer the same exact upgrades, but you're going to pay less. And this is how you begin to capture some of that extra audience that is not converting on your site or that bounce off right away, you can make these keywords relatable. That's why it's so important for you to go in here once a month, at least once a quarter. How are these keywords changing? How are these queries changing? What is it going to do for you if you start capitalizing on that? If you're already growing organically, double down on it. Add it into your blogs. Make sure that it's prominent throughout your site. This is the way that Google is already showing you that you are relevant for that query. Capitalize on it and make it work for you. So if you need help doing that, of course, One SEO is always ready, here and willing, waiting to get you the results that you want.
Natasha, thank you very much. Mr. Bachman, thank you again as usual for sharing these insights with the people out there. Everybody, if you need help with Search Console, let us know.
Barney, I liked how you called me Mr. Bachman.
Listen, I'm just trying to be formal in here, bring a little class in this place, you know what I mean?
Okay, I got you. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please don't forget to follow me at Lance Bachman on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me on Facebook at Lance Bachman Digital. And every Thursday we drop a new podcast. Don't forget to listen to it. We're giving out great content. And remember this is the time to build your business right now. Let's effing go, everybody.